motherfucker.
I think you said that right as we went live.
No, did I?
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. I don't know if it'll come up. I'll see if it's silver shining.
You eating some breakfast right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
See how we're doing right here. Yeah, it caught that. What's up, dude? We're live.
What's going on, man?
Not much. Just ready for these games. How you feel about your game right now? How's that going?
As ugly as you would expect.
I don't even have it on.
Yeah, as ugly as you would expect. I mean, Patriots marched down the field, got a field goal. Colts marched down the field, got a touchdown. After that, it's been pretty stale. New England's got the ball right now, 3-7.
Right.
So we'll see.
Hey, can you put this in the
Robert
microwave and
Kraft
just let it sit there?
said
I don't want to eat
before
while I'm on
this
the thing.
game, this is the first time they've ever been 2-7 in his 30-year career of owning the Patriots. So you can
That's
tell
wild.
that he's starting to get a little frustrated.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I get that.
we'll see. I think this is a big game for them. They need to win this game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's been ugly for the Patriots this year. I know that's not ideal for Patriots fans. Not something y'all are used to.
Definitely not.
But yeah, what's up, man? We got some good games today.
Yeah, we do. I'm really excited. I feel like there's some really good ones on some close games this week.
You ready to jump into it?
Yeah. What you got?
Yeah, so the Patriots game right now, the over-under, as you know, the games went on, the over-under is 32.5 points, which is looking like they're not going to reach that. But
Yeah.
I don't know what it was starting the game, but first game of the week, other than that, starting with the 1 o'clock games, got the 49ers versus the Jags. That's what I got on my line.
Yeah, this is a playoff game right here, man.
Yeah, for
It'll be
sure.
interesting to see how the 49ers how they play coming off the bye. Jacksonville's 6-2, but it's kind of a little surprising to me. I mean, we all kind of picked them to win the division, but it just kind of hasn't looked the way that we thought it would look.
Yeah, it's an ugly 6-2.
Trevor Lawrence hasn't hit over 20 fantasy points all year, which is like, whoa, what's going on there? But I
Right.
think that they're a good football team. I think they're a playoff team. But I think I'm going to take San Francisco minus the 3.5 in this game.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there. I don't know, man. I just don't think the Jags have really. They haven't impressed me. I mean, they beat the Bills in was that London, but
Yeah,
that game kind of felt fraudulent a little bit. I think that was whenever the Bills were really struggling.
yeah. I mean, they're still really struggling. The Bills, losing to the Patriots too.
Yeah, and now you got to play. Now the Jags have to play the 49ers coming off of a bye. Debo Samuel's healthy. Brock Purdy. I've been very critical on the 49ers this year, and all of my claims about Brock Purdy only come whenever Debo Samuel's out and Brock Purdy's battling a concussion. So I expect to see the 49ers have a big bounce back game.
Yeah, I do too. I'm starting all those guys on the Niners side of the ball, and the Jags side of the ball. Christian Kirksey, Calvin Ridley. I think we'll have a bounce back day today. I almost wanted to put him in my DFS lineups, but it was just a little too scary.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm scared of Calvin Ridley for sure.
But I think he's going to have a better day today. And Trevor Lawrence, I'm trying to put him on the bench.
Yeah, I am too. Yeah, like you said, Christian Kirk. Obviously, Travis Etienne is going to be in your lineup.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just Christian Kirk and Travis Etienne. I mean, it's an over/under of 44 points. We'll see. I mean, that 49ers defense has shut down some pretty good offenses like the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But
And Evan Ingram's in too.
Evan Ingram's in. I agree with that. But yeah, Calvin Ridley. I mean, you drafted him to play him. I don't know. I'm scared. I'm scared though. If you can't start Trevor Lawrence,
I'm scared too. But he's got the ability to put up a big game at any moment, and I think that they kind of need him in this game. Not that they haven't needed him in the games that they lost, but I think that he gets back right in this game.
Yeah, I think the Calvin Ridley of old could put up a big game at any point, but this year his numbers are not good. We'll pull it up right now.
He's had over 100 yards twice this year.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel like that was in the Buffalo game. He had 7 catches in that game, and then he had And it's for in week 1. It was week 1 and week 4, or I'm sorry, week 1 and week 5. And
Yeah,
other than that, it hadn't been that good though. I mean,
yeah.
you've seen the
I'm giving people the confidence to start him because I think he's going to have a good day.
okay,
I think this Niners secondary isn't as good as people think it is,
okay,
and I think that they're going to need to rely on him to win this game. And I think that they want to rely on him to win that game.
true,
So
that's true.
it's a big time game, and it's a good chance for him to have a good game. I think.
Yeah, Zay Jones is out, so I know he was kind of questionable coming into this week, but it
Yeah.
looks like he's going to be back next week. So that'll be pretty big for that side of the ball. I mean, you've
Right.
seen
Right.
you've seen Zay Jones in week 1 and what 3, I think, the 2 weeks he's played, and he had almost 10
Yep.
fantasy points in both weeks. I think he had like 15 in week 1, and he had a pretty solid week in the week after. So keep an eye on that situation going in the next few weeks. I got the Texans and the Bengals.
It's a fun game, right? 46 under over.
Yeah, the Bengals minus 5.5. How do you feel about this game?
Um, I feel like this is the game since he's hot right now. They're on a big win streak. It's in Cincy. Uh, CJ Stroud really struggles in away games, and I think that even though he is getting comfortable and is a good quarterback, I think that he's gonna him being a rookie, this is gonna be a big game for him. I don't think it's gonna be enough. I would take 5.5. If you're gonna take Cincy, that's a lot of points
I'm gonna
for
take
a
Cincy
potential
though.
shootout.
I think I'm gonna take Cincy. Like you said, CJ Stroud struggles in away
Yeah,
games.
I'm gonna take Cincy too because I think that Bengals are just an all around well-oiled machine. You got Mixon coming out of the backfield who's gonna get all the volume in this game, and Houston really can't stop the run very well. On top of that, Burrow and Chase is clicking. No T Higgins in this game, but I think Tyler Boyd is
Maybe
gonna
no
pick up.
Chase either.
Yeah, because of the back, right?
Yeah, Chase is at 8:17. They said hopeful Jamar Chase will play, so he's still questionable all the way at
If he
10:41.
doesn't, if he doesn't, then I'm definitely plugging in Tyler Boyd. I think you can play Tyler Boyd in the flex right now with Higgins out
I think you could play him
because
with Higgins in.
maybe I think they're going to rely on him. He's going to pick up some first downs. He's going to get you some points.
Yeah, last week I think was one of the first weeks that excuse me, that Tyler Boyd was playing with Chase and Higgins on the field, and he had 3 catches for 56 yards, which is pretty solid in the flex or the wide
Pretty
receiver
solid,
position.
yeah.
So you have Higgins
And
out.
they seem a little banged up, yeah.
Yeah, you have Higgins out. You have Chase out. How do you feel about the 4th string wide receiver Trenton Irvin?
I haven't really looked into him too much. I don't think it's going to get down to him, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's a return
I
man.
think, yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to throw him in any kind of lineup.
Right.
They're gonna. I'd be going towards maybe with one of their tight ends before I go to him. And I do expect Chase to play and Boyd to be a focus too in Mixon. I think that'll be enough for them to get that win.
Yeah, keep an eye on the Chase situation if you have him on your lineup. Oh, nice. Preston in the chat. What's up, Preston?
Oh, what up, dude?
Oh, Saint Bowtie. Yeah, I think you got to definitely keep an eye on Chase. I always worry about the Bengals because I had T. Higgins last year when they said he was healthy and then he goes out and doesn't play any snaps. But we'll see. I mean, if they say he's healthy, he's going to be in my lineup. I'm not going to take the risk and put JSN in or somebody like that. Somebody off my bench just because I feel like they're lying or whatever. But definitely keep an eye
What about
on
CJ
that.
Stroud? You got CJ Stroud or Kyler Murray this week? Asking for a friend.
Oh, Kyler Murray. Who do they play? Who do the Cardinals play? The Falcons?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's a good matchup for Kyler.
I'm going Kyler right now.
I think I'm going Kyler too.
I think the game's going to come in too fast right now because it's his first game back, and he's going to really feel the security of tucking and running and trying to pick up some of them first downs. And he's got Hollywood Brown too, and
James Conner's back.
James Conner's back. Yeah, I think that they're going to be a little bit more competitive than Houston. But CJ Stroud coming off the 50-point game, it's hard to send it. It's hard to send it. And
but
a
like you
potential
said,
shootout, but yeah,
like you said, it's an away game.
He
Yeah,
struggled.
it's an away
he struggled
game
against Carolina. Put up 12 fantasy points against Carolina.
Yeah, that's right. But we'll see. I mean, and Nico Collins is out for CJ Stroud. That makes me want to lean towards Kyler even more.
Yeah, it's true.
Kyler did baby the injury, though. I feel like he's taken a long time. But there's one thing you're not considering, and that's that the new Call of Duty just came out. So, Kyler's the Call of Duty guy. You got to.
Yeah, you got to add that in.
You got to add that in. So I don't know. I might lean towards CJ Stroud now. He might not be focused. he might try to be playing God. I definitely go Kyler there. I think he's got a lot of upside with a pretty solid team. I mean, Marquise Brown, Trey McBride, James Conner. This team, I mean, even the rookie Michael Wilson. This team has been needing a quarterback like that. Yeah, and we saw Josh Dobbs kind of ball out in this offense a few games, and Kyler Murray's just better. So I like Kyler Murray.
I like Cincy minus the 5.5 too, but I think it could be a close shootout if Stroud can get comfortable in his away game. Get comfortable with some of his targets. Like Tank Dell, Noah Brown coming on strong.
Yeah, that's right. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see C.J. Stroud go out and have another performance like last week. It was exciting.
Yeah. Anything else in this game you want to talk about?
I don't think so. I'm staying away from the defenses. Over under 46. It's gonna be a big shootout. What you got next? Do you have the Browns and the Ravens?
Browns and Ravens, yeah. Browns plus 6.5. Ravens favorite. Over 38. Right.
Yeah, it's pretty low. It makes sense, though. I mean, both very solid defenses.
Yeah, these defenses are going to eat in this game. I just think that it just seems like Lamar's cooking a little bit better than Watson. Of course, Watson's had the shoulder injury, but I just think it's going to be too much for Cleveland and Lamar Jackson. He's been playing well. I mean, in the MVP race right now. So I think he'll get enough done, and especially the kicking game in a defensive game like this. Justin Tucker can win you this game.
Absolutely. Who is the kicker for the Browns? Is it Caleb McLaughlin?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Caleb McLaughlin's been a pretty solid kicker too throughout the year. But I think you're absolutely right. Start the kickers if you have kicker position in your fantasy league. Start these guys because obviously Justin Tucker's probably not on the waiver, but 38 points is pretty low. The defenses are good, but we'll see. We'll see if Lamar Jackson can play like he's been playing. Blowing out the Lions, blowing out the Seahawks. They're looking good. They're looking like the AFC favorite right now in my eyes. I know a lot of people have the Chiefs, but that's just because Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. I get it.
Yeah. How you feeling about Amari Cooper in this game?
I guess I'd start. That's about the only guy I'd like to start. Maybe him and Jerome Ford. I'm not starting Kareem Hunt.
No Kareem Hunt?
No, I'm not starting Kareem Hunt. I've got
on the other side,
in.
On the other side, you got Mark Andrews. Of course, he's in. The receivers, I'm staying away from. It's just you're taking a dart throw with like a bunch of wide receiver, like low-end wide receiver twos.
I almost put Odell in my in a few DFS lineups, but I didn't put him in.
I couldn't get him in there. It's too risky. You don't know who it's going to go to. Maybe it goes to him, but he got one last week, did he not?
He did. He got his first touchdown of the year.
I'll be betting that he doesn't get one in this game.
That's fair.
And, Gus Edwards, it seems like you can fire him up too, but I honestly think that this is going to be like a grinding game, and they're going to use all three of those backs. So, I liked Gus Edwards last week. I had him in DFS last week. I think I'm out on him this week.
Yeah, Keaton Mitchell is an interesting waiver pickup. He has struggled with a hamstring injury throughout the year. But, dude, we saw that explosive ability last week. He had 9 carries for 138 yards and a touchdown.
I think Baltimore wins this game, but I'm taking Cleveland plus the 6.5. Their defense is so good, they'll keep them in the game.
This is the same Browns defense that beat the 49ers with P.J. Walker.
Exactly. So they're going to be competitive.
Absolutely. I think that's a very good take. I'm staying away from just about anybody on the offensive side of the ball for the Browns. Jerome Ford maybe. Austin Shirley in the chat said don't listen to their defense pick.
Man, it's the one we missed on last week. We hit on like a massive. I hit on all my fantasy lineups, DFS, but we missed that one.
Yeah.
Sometimes football's unpredictable. You try to nail it on the head as much as you can.
That's right.
But we're hitting at a high rate right now, especially with these under-overs.
Yeah, it's easy to point the finger. It is. Yeah, it's
easy to point the finger. Yeah, that sounds like something the Cowboy fans will do.
Oh no, we're coming after Cowboys fans now. I know that one stings. Let's talk about that. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
New Orleans Saints in Minnesota. Minnesota, they're giving Minnesota 3, so New Orleans favored by 3. Under over 41. How you feeling about this?
Under over 41. I think this is gonna be a fun game. I'm excited to see Josh Dobbs back on the field, man.
I am too, honestly. I
Josh
got New
Dobbs went out
Orleans
there and beat the
defense.
supervillain.
Yeah, I like that. I got New Orleans defense both in both leagues in fantasy, and I think they're gonna have sacks. They're gonna have turnovers. Josh Dobbs is kind of like improvising back there, and you can't sustain like him improvising on every play. He's done a good he's done a good job, but I mean Atlanta's defense ate him up last week.
Right.
If you look in fantasy, I think they had multiple sacks, multiple interceptions.
Safety.
Multiple. They've made safety. They really ate there. So I think that if you want to
Had
fire the
been.
Saints defense up in DFS, that was one of my other pivots that I was looking at. Um, Chris Olave with Mike Wallace out, I think is a great play, and
Mike
so is
Thomas.
Shaheed. Mike Thomas. Why
You did this again.
I always
You
call
did
Mike
it again,
Wallace.
yeah.
Why do I do that?
Last week, I had the Atlanta Falcons in one of our fantasy leagues, and I had them actually against you, and so I was pretty excited to see how the sacks and safety
So
come
I got to
in.
see it. I got to see it firsthand.
Yeah, right.
Minnesota,
Yeah, right.
just every time I looked, it was just sacks in the backfield.
Yeah, the Saints defense is much better than the Falcons defense, so definitely have those
So I
guys
think
in.
they're one of my locks this week, especially if you're questioning, which defense to start. That's one that I'm trying to get in my lineup.
What's yeah, like on the Saints side of the ball though, you said Rashid Shaheed. I feel like I put him in a flex. If I'm against like a superstar team, I definitely want him on my team. I mean, he's shown that he can go
He's got the big play potential.
he can
Yeah,
go for 150 and 2 touchdowns on 3 catches. I mean, you really never
on three
know.
catches.
Yeah.
That could happen. He's got that ability, and it's against the terrible defense already. Shaheed or let's go with Shaheed or Wandell Robinson.
I'm gonna go Shaheed.
I'm gonna go Shaheed there too. Shaheed
Well,
or
and the reason I say that is because Tommy DeVito is the quarterback for Wandale Robinson.
right. Shaheed or Cortland Sutton.
I'll go Shaheed.
I go Shaheed there too.
Surprising.
One
I
more.
like Cortland Sutton, but
Shaheed or Tyler Boyd.
I'll go Tyler Boyd there. Tyler Boyd seems safe, and I feel like he's got a pretty high ceiling with Jamar Chase potentially being out and T. Higgins out.
I like that. I agree with all those picks. Anybody? I guess who else on the Saints do we want to talk about? Alvin Kamara's in. Derek
Alvin
Carr.
Kamara's in.
If you're desperate in a 2 quarterback lead, maybe he's in that second.
I think
depending on buys.
I think you could put Derek Carr in. The Vikings defense isn't good.
It's not.
And so you could see Derek Carr go out there and go 250 and 2 touchdowns. I feel like he's I feel like it's a pretty decent floor. I mean, he's been solid for fantasy.
I like that. Yeah, it's a decent floor, but if I got Stroud, I'm going Stroud over him.
I'll tell you, his last 5 games against Chicago, 211 and 2 touchdowns. Against Indianapolis, 310 and 2 touchdowns. Against Jacksonville, 300, a touchdown, a pick. 350, a touchdown, and a pick. And then 180 and 2 touchdowns. So 19, 18, 19, 22, 20.
Not
Pretty
a bad
solid.
floor going up against a terrible defense.
Exactly.
Yeah, so he's already given you 18, 19. You get a plus matchup here. Maybe he gets you 22, 23, and maybe he does get that third touchdown. I don't think he does. I think he's around 2, like you said.
All right, and there's some big
who
bye
knows?
weeks this week. Obviously Patrick Mahomes is out, Jalen Hurts is out, Tua's out, and what's the other bye week? I know there's the Dolphins, Chiefs, Eagles, and someone else.
And I can't
It's not a
remember
good
the
team.
other one. Yeah.
It's like the Rams, I think.
And on the Minnesota side of the ball, I believe it's the Rams. Minnesota side of the ball, Hawkinson's supposed to be on a snap count. I know you texted me that this morning.
Yeah, he's
I'm still starting him.
I'm
starting
scared.
If he plays, I mean, I would go Ferguson over him. I'd go Dalton Schultz over him if he's on that snap count.
So,
if he gets the full go, I'm going to go Hawkinson over all those guys, but I'm expecting a snap count there.
ESPN's Ed Werder reports that Hawkinson won't play as many snaps as normal, but will be on the field in key situations.
Okay. That means that when it's time,
that verbiage
no
scares
blocking.
me. But would you go Hawkinson or Trey McBride asking for a friend?
Personally, and this is just how I've been handling Trey McBride in DFS lineups. I think that he's not gonna get those checkdowns because Kyler Murray's gonna be running.
Okay.
And I think that hurts Kyler Murray being in hurts him a little bit. I would go Hawkinson there.
Okay, I like that. I like that take.
Yeah. You saw that with, Anthony Richardson and Josh Downs, little situation
That's
there.
right.
I think you're going to see a little bit more of that. And that's why I got Kyler in because I think I expect him to run and keep that floor a little high
That's true.
because of, the 10-yard, maybe he gets 50 yards, 60 yards rushing. That's kind of usually takes away from checkdowns.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. You got anything else in this game?
No, Addison, I think you can play him, but I'm probably trying to bench him.
Yeah, Addison.
Shaheed or Addison.
I'll go Addison. We've seen Addison's ceiling of 2 touchdowns and
I'll go
170
Addison
yards,
too.
and I think he's got a better floor. What about
Yeah,
how do you
go
feel about
Addison.
Alexander Madison this week?
He's in it for me. I think he's just a volume play. Maybe he falls into the end zone. I think you should expect anywhere between 6 and 12.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, hopefully you're lucky to get to 12 and you get the touchdown, but they're going to check it down to him a lot, uh, and he's going to get a lot of work. I think he's a fine flex play.
Yeah, for sure. What about the Titans and the Bucks? Over under 39. The Bucks -2.5. How do you feel about this game?
It's going to be an interesting game. Will Levis, Baker Mayfield. I love DeAndre
Yeah,
Hopkins
right.
this week, especially with Burks being out. And you get Levis and Tampa Bay secondary really banged up. Just gave up 50 fantasy points to C.J. Stroud.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I think Will Levis is going to be able to. He's going to hyper target his number one receiver, who still looks like he's got a little bit of something left.
He's got
And the
something for
running game is
sure.
going to be a little bit tough because the front seven for the Bucks is stout. You know,
Right.
you know, Henry's in for me, but I think Chigaquanquo could also be a dart throw in fantasy because his numbers have been rising. With Will Levis, and yeah, I love Hopkins in this game. What about you?
Yeah, I like Hopkins a lot in this game. I actually want you to keep an eye on Kyle Phillips. Since Will Levis has been in, he's been getting like 5 targets every game. I'm pretty sure. I could pull up his numbers. But yeah, he's definitely had some upside. I got him in one fantasy lineup. But yeah, the last 2 weeks he had 5 targets for 4 catches and 68, and the week before that he had 3 targets for 3 catches and 24. So it's trending upward for him, but just keep an eye on that, especially with Traylon Burks being out. Last year he had a pretty bad concussion against the Eagles. And this year, he had that concussion against the Steelers. So I don't know. I feel really bad for Traylon Burks, man. He's had some bad luck in his career already.
Yeah. It sucks to trade AJ Brown, and that's what replaced it.
Yeah, for
Hasn't
sure.
really panned out for him so far. That has to hurt, if you're the owner or a Titans fan.
Yeah,
I
for
like the
sure.
Titans +2.5. I think that they could win this game straight up. So if I'm betting, I'm taking the points here.
Yeah, I'm not mad about that at all. The Bucks have been playing all right, though. I mean, like you said, though, even though the Texans put up monster points against the Bucks put up monster points against the Texans too. I mean, that was a
They
shootout,
did, and this
and Baker looked
secondary
good.
is beatable. The
Yeah,
secondary for the Titans is beatable. I do not like K. Dot this week. I think that it's a bad matchup. Very physical linebackers that stop the run and can get physical with tight ends. Mike Vrabel's system. I wouldn't start a tight end, and I'm trying. I mean, Rashad White, I don't want him in there,
yeah,
but I mean, some people kind of have to.
yeah, that's right.
So I'd
I mean,
probably
Rashad
throw
White
him
had a
there,
phenomenal game last week.
and that was against Houston.
Yeah, that was against Houston,
That was
so
against Houston.
yeah, it
So
makes sense. How do you feel about
Mike
Chris Godwin?
Evans, I think
Mike
they're
Evans is
both good.
in.
I think you can start them both.
Chris
I know
Godwin or
Chris
Tyler
Godwin
Boyd?
coming off the. Ooh, if Higgins is out,
He's out.
I'm going Tyler Boyd.
I think I'm with you there. The over under for this game is 39 points, so I kind of want to take the spread, 46 points for the Texans and
Yeah,
Bengals.
and also you get better quality targets and a more
Absolutely,
high-powered
Joe Burrow.
offense with a better matchup. I'd go Boyd there. A lot of people. I just think Godwin's the better player, but I think Boyd might have the better fantasy day.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you on that. There's not much more I want to talk about in this game. I mean, Derrick Henry's in. Rashad White, he's in. I mean, I think that's kind of an Alexander Madison situation where he's going to get the
I think you're
volume.
right. Yeah.
He's the only guy getting the goal line work. So, Rashad White is 100% in for me, unless I have like just some monster running back crew. Who do you like this week better, Rashad White or Jahmyr Gibbs?
Jahmyr Gibbs for sure.
Do you think we'll talk about that situation here in a few games? But do you think that he's going to get the volume like he was? Or do you think it's going to go back to 50-50?
I think he's carved out a role, and this is kind of what you got to expect on an NFL level. He's a rookie.
That's right.
You saw it early. They're going to give the rock to David Montgomery, a seasoned veteran who's just grinding it out and killing it until they think their guy's ready. And he proved that he can hold down the workload by himself. So I think that he's going to get a lot of plays. And I think that he might not get 20 touches, but you could see 10 carries, 10 carries, 5 receptions, something like that.
I think so.
And I think that he's going to break some runs and he's going to make some plays and could score in this game.
Yeah, I agree with that. Anything else you want to talk about in the Bucks and Titans game?
No, I'm ready to move on if you are.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we got the Packers and the Steelers. The Steelers -3, 38.5 point over under. I'm actually pretty excited about this game. I know it's going to be a defensive game. I got the Steelers defense starting, but I mean it's fun to see a defensive matchup, man. It's kind of fun to see Kenny Pickett out there playing. But all of the Steelers games have been exciting to me because Mike Tomlin's just finding a way to win, dude.
Yeah, C.J. Stroud with more career touchdown passes than Kenny Pickett.
So at 3, how long is Kenny Pickett in the year? 3 years?
2 years, I think.
2 years, okay.
It's his second year, yeah.
Okay.
13 and 13 is what he has right now. 13 touchdowns, 13 interceptions.
Wow.
Just seems like a guy who just isn't ready.
I think a lot of that came from last year because I don't think he's actually been playing terrible this year. I think he's done what it takes. I want to see how many interceptions he has on the year because I don't think it's a ton. I didn't think he was playing awful this year. It's not good though, right?
Playing great.
Oh, week 1, 2 picks. Week 2, a pick. Week 4, 1 pick. And that's it. So not bad. 5 interceptions on the year. That's not good. That's not good.
He's a guy who just isn't comfortable in the pocket. Is what it looks
That's right.
Like. But I'm taking Pittsburgh because and -3 because I think that the defense is going to create pressure. I think that Mike Tomlin's going to find a way to win this. They're a little bit more stable than Green Bay right now, and it's in Pittsburgh. It's going to be a nasty game. Only person I'm trying to start on the Pittsburgh side is
Deontay Johnson.
Deontay Johnson, and I think you can play Jalen Warren.
I think you can play Najee Harris.
Najee Harris,
I guess you can play him too. He looked really good last night on Thursday night.
I would personally want to start Warren over Harris if I had those two on my team. I think I would go Warren over Harris because I just think he's the better player.
Last week, Najee Harris was 16 for 69 and a touchdown and 4 targets.
And that's the first time we had seen that in a while, I felt like.
So week 7, actually, against the Rams, he was 14 for 53 and a touchdown with 3 targets.
Yeah. He's been getting better as the year goes on, but the first 5 or 7 games was brutal.
It was bad, but I do bad.
I see some upside with Najee. And you watch him play, and he just looks awful. He looks so slow. He goes down as soon as he gets contact. Jalen Warren is a guy who can make some guys miss in the open field, and also has a good receiving floor too. I actually like Jalen Warren. I almost got him in some DFS lineups, but I don't mind Harris either because he is getting a little more comfortable in the offense. It happened last year, and it seems to be happening again this year.
That's right. It did happen last year as the weather cooled off. I like Deontay Johnson. How do you feel about George Pickens?
I'm out.
George Pickens or Khalil Shakir for the Bills?
Pickens.
Okay, what about Pickens or Rashid Shaheed?
I'd go Shaheed.
Okay, what about one more? Who was we were talking about earlier? Man, I forgot who we were talking about earlier. We were comparing to Shaheed. Yeah, Wandale, that's it. Wandale or Pickens?
Or Addison. I'd go Pickens over Wandale.
Okay.
He still can make big plays.
But he dropped a goose last week, I believe, right? Or was it he had negative yards?
I think the first time he's dropped a goose in his career. So it's kind of one of those things you have to live by the sword, die by the sword with George Pickens.
Absolutely.
He can get you that 70-yard touchdown, but he also could just not show up.
Yeah, he's Yeah, I do like the defenses in this game, though. How do you feel about the Packers defense?
I think they're startable. Kenny Pickett's going to take some sacks. He's going to turn the ball over.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you can fire them up.
Yeah, I
I
agree
think
with
I
that.
like the Steelers a little bit more.
Absolutely. I like the Steelers a
Being
lot
at
in this matchup.
home, feeding off that, you got T.J. Watt.
Jordan Love's look bad.
Yeah, he's looked bad,
And
real
who
bad.
who are their receivers? I mean, Christian Watson has been a bust this year.
Yeah,
Romeo Dobbs, I mean, might get in the end zone. That's
I
the
actually
only
believe
hope.
in that receiving core. I think it's a really, really good receiving core with
I think
Jalen
the problem
Reed
is
and
Jordan Love
Romeo
right now.
Dobbs. The problem is Jordan Love. He's not that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not much else I want to talk about. What do you? I mean, Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon. Aaron
Nah,
Jones is in your lineup.
you can play Aaron Jones.
You can
AJ
play
Dillon,
that.
no, thank you.
I mean, we've talked about how bad the running backs are right now. Jonathan Taylor coming back is actually pretty big for it, though. I mean, he just got a touchdown this game. I think he's got like 10 fantasy points at halftime. But
Right.
Aaron Jones, his numbers have been okay all year, but I think that last week he actually had a really good week. He had 20 carries for 73 yards and a touchdown with 6 targets for 4 catches and 26 yards. So, very good week for him.
Yeah, he's in your lineup.
Yeah, he is. But the last two, other than that, though, it's been week 1 he had 25 points with 86 receiving yards on 2 catches and a touchdown, and then
Yeah, I
9
remember that
rushes
one.
for 41
He had a
yards.
69-yard reception, I believe.
Yeah, he had a rush touchdown and a receiving touchdown, but then it was like 0, 0, 2, 0. You know, a lot of injuries, 7 and 6. So, you know, the floor, I mean, the floor is bad. The floor is 4 points if he stays healthy, but, you know, it's bad. I mean, I hate to have to start him. I'd hate to have him on my team. I'd hate to have to start him.
Yeah. I'm taking Pittsburgh minus the 3 here. I think they're going to win it at home.
Right.
Anything else you want to go over?
No, I think I'm good on this game. I'm taking the under. 38.5 points. I'm taking the under.
I'm taking the under too. I think it's going to be a nasty game.
Yeah, that was our last 1 o'clock game. We got the Chargers and the Lions. This is going to be a really fun game. 48.5 under over, minus 2.5 for the Lions. Do you think the Lions can pull this out against the Chargers?
Um, I think the Lions win this game.
I do too, and they're favorited.
Yeah, I think they win this game. I think the Chargers they can pull it out. They can keep up, but will they? I don't know.
I don't think they
I
will.
think the Lions just have a little bit more stability on offense. I think the Chargers they're going to need some help from Austin Eckler. It's time. It's
Yeah, and
time.
you've got
He's been playing well, but it's time.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's been. I mean, he had 2 touchdowns last week. He the week before he had what 100 and almost 100 receiving yards. So
Yeah, but
2
you watch
weeks
him
in
on
a
the
row.
field and he had 3 drops.
Yeah, that's bad
It just
for
doesn't.
sure.
It's like when you watch him play, it just doesn't. It seems like Dalvin Cook's last year. Is the way it feels to me. I
I
don't
agree with
know. Still productive. Still has
I don't know. I
signs
think
of
he's
who
better
he
than
is.
Dalvin Cook last year. I don't want to do that to him.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, Josh Palmer out on IR. Obviously, Mike Williams is still out on IR. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't feel good about this offense. I don't feel good
Oh,
about this
I'm on.
offense against the Lions. And the Lions are coming off of a bye. You get David Montgomery back. I
I
think this is going to be an
think
ugly game.
I think Herbert is going to torch this offense. I mean, this defense. I think that, and I think the reverse is the same. I think this is going to be a shootout. That's why I said 48.5 under
That's
over.
true.
I think I want pieces on all sides. I want Eckler. I want Allen. I want Herbert. Outside of that, I'm good.
Maybe
Anybody
Quentin
else?
Johnson.
Quentin John. This is the moment I've hung on to him for a little while. If he doesn't show up in this game, he's done.
Yeah, that's right.
He got the Sauce Gardner treatment last week, and it was ugly. He got
Yeah,
shut
that's
down.
right.
And this game, you don't get a DB like that. So this is time. It's time. They need him right now, and he's going to have the volume and the opportunity. He's going to be out there running those routes. If he doesn't perform now, I'm done with him. He's on the waiver wire.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, start your offensive guys in this game. Quentin Johnson.
Yeah.
I don't like starting him, but Quentin Johnson or Khalil Shakir.
Shakir.
Oh yeah, so you got Johnson low on the list then.
Yeah. He's down there. We haven't seen anything. He hasn't given us.
Yeah,
You
that's
know.
fair.
And on the Detroit side, Amon Ra, fire him up. Jared Goff's a great
Oh,
start.
absolutely.
Laporta, I think, we'll talk about him in a little bit. I think he's going to, do very well this week. And David Montgomery, welcome back. I know fantasy
Oh
managers are
yeah,
excited to have David Montgomery back, and I think he can fire up Gibbs, and I think it's going to be a 50-50 split.
yeah, I think so. We'll see. I mean, coming out of the bye week, that's where you see a lot of rookies start to take more of a precedented role in the offense of a lot of teams. So we'll see how that goes. I expect maybe I'm gonna say 6 carries and 5 catches for Jahmyr Gibbs. It just depends what the game script is. If they can get to the goal line quick, then I mean we've seen the Lions give it to David Montgomery 4 plays in a row on the 1 yard line. First down, second down, third down, fourth down. 4 runs. He got 1 yard and a
Yeah,
touchdown on 4 carries.
they believe in him on the goal line.
Absolutely. So, but I mean, we've seen Gibbs. He can handle a full workload. So,
Yeah,
and you give a guy 30 carries, he ends up injured twice already. David Montgomery. You got to tone those carries back. You can't keep giving him 30 to
yeah,
35
yeah.
touches a game. I mean, he can't sustain
I
it.
agree.
It's been shown. So,
Especially when you have your number one, your number one pick, your first round pick, sitting there who's talented and can't handle the workload. He's young, he's explosive. Get him the ball.
yeah, absolutely. Jahmyr Gibbs not last week, the week before, had 26 carries for 152 yards and a touchdown and 5 catches for 37.
Yeah,
So
he's that guy. If you watch him, anybody with a brain can tell you like this guy is
he's so
amazing.
fast. Yeah,
He's so fast and if you put him, you can really bring him out wide, and his route running is really
absolutely,
really good. If you
absolutely.
don't have
I'm
a
agree with
DB
you.
on him, he's going to carve up any kind of linebacker and probably most safeties.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. That's a very good take. I'm excited about this game.
Start him,
Start
start
him
them
for
all.
sure.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
taking Detroit minus 2.5.
I'm
I've
with
been
you.
pulling for the Chargers because I got a lot of Chargers invested in fantasy, but and I think everybody's gonna have a good day. But I think the Lions will win this one.
I'm going to be pulling for the Lions just because I like Dan Campbell,
I do too.
but also, I mean, I got some DFS guys, and I got Jahmyr Gibbs in fantasy in one league anyway, not in the other one anymore.
Atlanta at Arizona. Atlanta favored by 2.5. The return of Kyler Murray in Arizona, 43.5 under over. This game is going to be interesting. I got
That's
odds
an
on this game.
upset
You
for
also
me.
got James Conner coming back. We talked about it earlier. Who do you like in this game?
I got the upset for the Cardinals. I think they win straight up.
Do you really?
I do. I think 43 and a half seems a little high to me though.
It does, right? It
We
seems a little
haven't
bit high.
seen Kyler Murray, so but I do think he'll be good. I mean, I almost wanted to put him in a few DFS lineups. He's pretty cheap. He's like 6,100. I didn't, but I thought about it.
I think Bijan Robinson has 120 yards and 2 touchdowns today.
He should, but who knows if
He
he's going to
should.
get the work. I mean,
Arthur Smith just won't give him the workload.
Tyler
It's
Algier has
so crazy.
105 carries on the year. Do you know how many that Bijan has?
Is it under 125?
So Tyler Algier has 105, and
It's 105. Okay,
Bijan has 103.
that's embarrassing.
What are we
I
doing?
got no offense to Tyler Algier, but
What are we
like,
doing?
come on, man, what are you doing? You drafted this guy in the
It's
top
insane.
10,
Yeah,
and
I
we
think.
know what he is. We know how talented he is. He's more talented than Gibbs, and we just
Yeah, he's
talked
very
about how
talented.
great he is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was really hoping that the Eagles would have drafted Bijan, and I didn't care at all about Gibbs. So
yeah,
I was like, if it's not Bijan, go defense. But
yeah.
yeah, man, I don't know what's going on there. I mean, Tyler Algier, in his defense, inside the 5 yard line, he has 6 carries and 3 touchdowns, which is spectacular.
Yeah.
But
You know what,
dude,
man?
this is the
I
same. This is the
think
same coach that's giving Jonnu Smith jet sweeps on the 2 yard line instead of throwing it to Kyle Pitts
I don't get it.
and
It
tight
makes
end
no
screens to
sense.
Jonnu Smith, which he did take for a 50 yard
I mean,
touchdown.
Jono Smith is a talented guy, but he's a Kyle Pitt.
I mean, Jonnu Smith is top 5 right now in the league for fastest plays on the year at 21 miles an hour.
He's athletic, man. I was excited when he came to New England, and they never did it much with
They
him. He
didn't do
always stayed
anything with
hurt.
him. Yeah.
The Cardinals, I think, taking Cardinals in the 2.5 is interesting because they're going to lean on James Conner. They get a little bit more explosive on offense, bringing Kyler Murray back. Yeah, we don't think he's going to be 100% up to game speed, but I think it's got to be better than Josh Dobbs. Against
Absolutely.
a shaky defense. Taylor Heineke on the other side is going to be able to take advantage of the
It
Arizona
hasn't looked
defense.
that good though.
It hasn't, because it is Taylor Heineke, but I think that this is like a very, very bad defense, which is why the under-over is so high, because this defense is so bad.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you saw, and I've been very critical of Jonathan Gannon because of how he was with the Eagles. I didn't think he made any halftime adjustments. We've saw that a lot this year with the Cardinals. I mean, the Giants game being a perfect example, where they were up 24 points and the Giants came back in the second half. But I don't know if the Falcons can keep up. I mean, if you're a Marquise Brown owner, congratulations, because it's about to get a lot better.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a good day today. If Kyler can be even somewhat on,
Yeah,
he should have a pretty solid day.
Yeah, but with Jonathan Gannon, he did get to sit and with Shane Steichen and watch how he developed Jalen Hurts. So I think that I think Jonathan Gannon, his play calling style is gonna be as if he had Jalen Hurts. I mean, you see that a lot of times when those defensive and offensive coordinators go to be a head coach.
I agree with that.
They try to call plays as if they were in the old system they were in, and so I think Kyler Murray fits that play style a lot better than Josh Dobbs did.
Yeah,
but he's just smaller.
I would agree with that. Anything else you want to talk about in this game? Drake London, I think he's a great play this week.
I think Kyle Pitts is a good play. I think Jonnu Smith's a good play.
I think he is too. I agree. Why not?
Start
him up. Yeah.
Start him.
I don't want to spend New York at Dallas. We don't have to spend too much time on this game. Okay. I think you just start the whole Cowboys and you sit all the Giants and
except for Saquon.
And I'll be honest, 17.5 is a lot of points. I'm probably taking the Cowboys minus 17.5.
I can't.
That's a lot.
It's a divisional game.
It's a divisional game, but they beat them 40-0 last
true.
time they played.
And now
the offense.
And now it's at Dallas.
Yeah.
Now it's at Dallas versus a much worse quarterback.
I'm taking the Cowboys minus 17.5. If I was a bet man, I would not touch this.
No, this is scary. 17.5 is huge.
Crazy. Under over 38. So they're saying the Giants might score like 3 or 7 points or something like that.
The best part is
maybe like 10 points.
No, I think if I'm a bettor, I do touch this because it's got the under or taking the Cowboys minus 16.50. Just throw $1 into the Giants. Why not?
Why not?
It's plus 950. I mean, you make almost 10, or you make some money. You make $10.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I mean,
I'll start Saquon. That's about it.
Saquon, Tony Pollard, everybody on Cowboys obviously, but yeah, Saquon, that's it on that side. Maybe DFS. You want to talk about Wandale? We like some other options. Like a Noah Brown over Wandale. If you're going
Rashid Shaheed, Odell Beckham or Wandale.
Odell.
Yeah, I would start Odell too.
Odell.
Start everybody on the Cowboys except for Brandon Cooks and Michael Gallup. I'm not starting those guys. One thing I do want to talk about is I don't think Tony Pollard can handle a full workload. And
this was the knock on him coming into the season. That's always going to be the knock on him. He's undersized. At 205, 215 or something like that. I think he's 215. He's never handled the full workload, and that's always been that was the nervous. I think that's what made Cowboys fans nervous coming into the season. Just not having any kind of security to follow him up. You thought they would address that in the draft, in the offseason, hanging with Rico Dowdle, even though he seems to be better than what we thought.
Yeah, for sure.
It definitely had people nervous early on.
Yeah, and Ezekiel Elliott's actually looking really good for the Patriots, man. He's he's had some explosive plays today and last week. Yeah. From what I saw in the first quarter, I didn't really get to watch much of that game.
It seems like they could use him a little bit.
Yeah, I think so, man. And so you can see where the Cowboys are hurting on the goal line, not having a guy like Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah.
But it doesn't help that they only give Tony Pollard like 12 carries. I mean, you can't expect a guy. You're not giving him any goal line work. You're not putting in your big running back Enrico Dowdle. I mean, you got to put that guy in.
Yeah.
If you're struggling on the goal line, and he's proven that he can do work out there. I mean, he's proven that he had a 23-yard touchdown catch this year too.
Yeah.
Which I'm obviously a big Rico Dowdle guy. I mean, we're Carolina fans from college.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, Rico Dowdle looks like he needs to get more touches, and I think that's something to keep an eye on in fantasy to see if that does happen. I don't think it will because Jerry Jones is stubborn. That's one of my favorite things about being an Eagles fan is that's the owner for the Cowboys.
That's great.
But it's just Tony Pollard's going to struggle until he gets some help. He can't handle the workload, And that's
I
where the
agree with
Cowboys are
that
struggling is on the
for
goal line.
sure.
But
For sure.
with that being said, I mean, I'm going to take the Giants to cover. It's too many points.
I understand that. I'm staying away from it, but I'm actually going to take the Cowboys. I just don't think that the Giants are going to be able to move the ball past the 50. It
That's
feels
fair.
like
That's probably fair.
Washington, and Seattle.
It's a fun
Seattle
game.
favored by 6 points. That seems like a lot for this game. Does that not seem like a lot for you?
Yeah,
With
I mean,
how the offense of Seattle has been playing, yeah, I know that it seems like Washington's kind of given up on defense by
yeah,
trading all their star players away.
yeah.
And they've been just kind of going back to like, you know what, we're just going to be in shootouts. It's just what we're going to do. We might win them, we might lose them, but we're going to try to get some picks for them. But can Geno keep up? Because it seems like he's writing back.
Yeah, it seems like he's right back. Nice.
It seems like he's writing back right
Seems
now,
like he's writing back. Yeah, it does seem that way. 44 and a half over under. I guess I'm going to take the Commanders to cover. I mean, Sam Howell has shown that he balls out for no reason sometimes. Like he might go out there and throw for 4 touchdowns.
Jahan Dotson coming on too to give him some help.
Jahan Dotson's in my lineup. And I think we saw that because Curtis Samuel being out last week, they had to rely on somebody in a big game. So had to rely on someone. Jahan Dotson. Why not use your first round pick, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
So yeah, Jahan Dotson did come on strong. Terry McLaurin, I like both of those guys in this matchup. I like Brian Robinson too.
I like all the big names in this game on both sides. I like Kenneth Walker. I like you can fire up Geno. I'm
scared.
I don't want to.
You
I'm
got
scared.
burned
I got burned. So no thank you with Geno for me. But if you are taking a shot, I think he could have a good day. DK kind of letting some people down. This is a good matchup for all those guys. I think DK, Tyler Lockett, and JSN are kind of just all flex plays right now.
Yeah, if Jamar Chase is out, I have to play Tyler Lockett and JSN, which is not. I'm actually not too upset about it. I mean, with the high under
That's not bad. I wouldn't be upset about it.
I actually really like Geno in this game. His floor has been bad, and his ceiling is not good either.
I know.
I think he's put up like 24 points max this year. And that was 2 touchdowns.
I want to say he hit like a 24 or 28.
Maybe it was 20. Yeah, it was 28, 27. I do remember that. That was like week 3.
Yeah, he did have that where it was like, okay, there he is. That's what we expected.
Yeah, that was week 2 against the Lions, I bet, because he had that touchdown. Tyler Lockett had 2 touchdowns, and I think DK had one that week.
Yeah. I also like Logan Thomas on the other side of the ball,
too.
Absolutely. I think he scores a touchdown today. I think Brian Robinson you can start, and McLaurin, Dotson. That's really about it. Somehow, if you're in a 2 quarterback league, maybe in 1 quarterback league, depending on how things went down for you.
Sam Howell, Derek Carr.
I go Derek Carr. Well,
Sam Howell or Geno Smith in the same matchup.
I'm gonna go.
I know this hurts you. For me, I think it's easy. I think Geno Smith's the easy answer there.
I think it's Geno Smith.
And I really like both of those guys in DFS. I don't have any of them. I had Geno in one lineup, but they're both pretty cheap. I think they're both like 5,700, maybe 58. I don't remember. I know Geno's 58, and I think Sam Howell's also 58.
I'm gonna take Washington plus the points here. Because
I agree with that.
The Seattle offense just hasn't showed us anything.
Yeah, that's right.
Why do we keep assuming just because it's a bad defense they're gonna be able to keep up when they haven't been able to keep up on here lately?
They did against the Lions. They had a big win against them. And I mean, we can't be too hard on them. They are a 5-3 team who is tied for the NFC West right now. So,
but if you watched it, it hasn't looked good.
It hasn't looked
especially
good.
Last week. Hasn't looked good really since earlier in the season.
But we want to talk about not looking good. I mean, we're big on the Lions, and the Lions also got blew out by the Ravens.
Yeah.
So. I don't know. I think that the Seahawks have a big bounce back game. I want to start all of these guys. I almost want to start Zach Charbonnet, but they're saying Kenneth Walker's healthy, so I'll give it another week.
I would too. Yeah, I like that take. The New York Jets at Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, Monday night.
This is
Sunday night. Sorry.
This is a nasty game. Start both defenses. You start both running backs. And you honestly, Devontae Adams, I don't want nothing to do with that. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle between him and Sauce Gardner already. And to be able to capitalize on those kind of matchups between those two guys, you have to have a quarterback who can make those tight, contested NFL throws. I don't think they're going to get that from their quarterback, O'Connell. So I'm trying to honestly bench Adams. That's where I'm at with it because I know it's going to be tight coverage.
Yeah, I can't find it in my soul to bench Devontae Adams ever. That's
I get it.
just I,
I
I
get it.
I couldn't live with myself if I benched him and he went off for 2 touchdowns and 140
I get
yards.
it. I get it. But I think of what you're going to see is like 50 yards on 3 catches or something.
I think that's probably fair, and the reason I say that is because Robert Saleh is a defensive-minded coach. He's not going to be drawing up some fancy plays to get Devontae Adams away from Sauce Gardner and get him open.
Yeah.
He might pull something out with. I mean, you've got Aaron Rodgers on the sideline who's going to be. I think that's something that has been overlooked. But Aaron Rodgers is going to be a good mentor and help out Robert Saleh with play calling. I mean, you've seen that
Yeah,
this year.
definitely. Yeah,
I
you
know
saw
that.
it in the preseason, with when Wilson was on, he's on the sideline making the call, and then Wilson bombs one for 50 yards.
Yeah, but you're going to see Sauce Gardner is going to be able, so Sauce Gardner is going to be able to keep up with Devontae Adams, and you're seeing the Raiders. They won big last week against the
That
Giants.
team's got heart, man. This
And
is a
Aiden
50-50
O'Connell,
game.
keep an eye out for Aiden O'Connell. Dude has a monster arm. I don't know if you've seen it the last few weeks, but I've seen him put some really pretty touches on some deep balls. That were actually, one of them was dropped, one of them was caught, one of them was dropped. And the reason it was dropped is because the receiver slowed down. Like, it was beautiful, right on the money. So I think if, what was it, 2 weeks ago, whenever Devontae Adams was open for two, like, touchdowns, one was like a 92-yarder and one was like a 50-yarder or something, Aiden O'Connell's making those throws. I think Aiden O'Connell's a better quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I do like. I think it's time for them to move on from Jimmy. I do know that.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think in this game he's going to get exposed. This defense is tight. They've made I mean, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. I mean, they've made them all look like bums.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I don't think anybody's thrown more than one touchdown pass in a game against this defense. I could be wrong about that, but at least the big name guys they've really shut down. I just this defense is legit, man. And
It is.
I think that Robert Saleh is going to have a way to shut down Adams, and they're going to keep a lot in the box and force O'Connell to make the right reads. Can he? We'll see. But I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Jets in this game.
I'm gonna go Raiders in this game.
Okay.
I like the team that's playing with heart, and
I like that.
Zach Wilson's bad, dude.
He's bad.
He's really bad at football.
Yeah. It's ugly. Right now, I'm definitely taking O'Connell over Zach Wilson because he's not Zach Wilson.
Yeah, the line actually just moved from 36 to 35 and a half.
So, oh yeah, I see that now. Wow.
So,
yeah. I'm firing up both running backs as volume plays though.
And
They're
that's
good.
it.
They're in.
And that's it. And defenses and running
that's
backs.
it. And I am starting Garrett Wilson.
I guess I'm starting Devontae Adams too.
Yeah, who do you think has the bigger day today? Garrett Wilson
or Devontae Adams? Probably Garrett Wilson. No, I'm going Devontae Adams. I think Devontae Adams.
I'm gonna go Garrett Wilson there.
I think Devontae Adams will get some touches.
And the last game for the day, Denver at Buffalo. Buffalo -7. It's an interesting game. If I was a bettor, I would not touch this game.
Yeah, I'm a little scared. I mean, Denver just went out there and beat the Chiefs, and they had a bye.
Yeah, and then the Bills, they lose to New England. They lose to who they lose to last week. They had the Giants.
They lost
game
to the Jags.
They lost to the Jags. They barely beat
like
the
14
Giants,
to what?
17
They're 9 to 17.
Something.
Yeah, it was bad.
It just doesn't look good. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm going to take the Bills to win this game. I think they win it in Buffalo. I think you start everybody on the Bills side: Kincaid, Cooks, Gabe Davis. You might. It depends on how you feel. I don't own Gabe Davis this year. I had him last
Gabe
year,
Davis or Jerry Jeudy on the other side of the ball.
I go to Gabe Davis.
So I just want to point out that I had Gabe Davis during the 4-touchdown run, then traded him, and that feels pretty good.
Nice.
That feels pretty good.
You did.
I got Marquise Brown.
I know that feels good.
That felt real good because I wasn't believing in Josh Allen that much. I mean, he's still the number one quarterback on the year, I believe, but I don't know. It doesn't look good. It looked bad to me, and I was out. So.
Yeah, I agree.
I got Pacheco and Marquise Brown. I'm really happy to have Hollywood right now.
Yeah, on the other side of the ball, Javonte Williams is definitely in. He's a volume
Definitely in. He had like 26 touches or 26 carries last week.
Cortland Sutton, I never believe. If you believe as a fantasy owner, go for it. But I'm not buying in. And Jerry Judy, same thing. Just outside of, Russell Wilson. How you feel about Russell Wilson this week?
Uh, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I don't know. Russell Wilson or Josh Dobbs
Josh Dobbs
against the Falcons, or not against the Falcons,
another.
but against the Saints. Against the Saints. Josh Dobbs against the Saints.
Oh man, I'm gonna go.
I'm going Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson or Derek Carr.
Derek Carr.
Russell Wilson or
I like Josh Dobbs, man. I just hate to do him that way.
I know.
I like him this week.
Sucks.
He's been putting up good
the
points.
passer or not.
His numbers are good.
The passer or not.
Yeah, right.
One more, Russell Wilson or Jordan Love?
Russell Wilson. Jordan Love, I'd go. Jordan Love or Zach Wilson.
Give me Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
So Zach Wilson or Russell Wilson?
Oh, Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I think Russell Wilson could have a good game. They add Rasul Douglas to the Bills, but I don't believe in that secondary, man. It's beat up pretty bad, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
How's your DFS lineup looking before we close this out?
Yeah, let's go look at that. I'm really excited about some DFS this week, man. I've got, I think, 5 lineups.
I got about 5 myself.
Got 5 lineups. Let me pull them up. But I think my main lineup, the one I like the most. So at quarterback, I got Brock Purdy. Who do you have?
I have Brock Purdy as well.
Okay, this is gonna be pretty interesting. My first running back, I have Christian McCaffrey.
I like that. We talked about that last night. I love that play.
And then my second running back, I have Joe Mixon.
I also have Joe Mixon, and I'm matching him with Bijan Robinson.
Okay, I have Bijan Robinson in my flex.
Nice. And I ended up going with my flex, Deebo Samuel. I think he's going to have a good day. Cool. I think that I got the stack with Brock Purdy there. It wasn't the stack I wanted, but to get this lineup and get some of these guys in, it's kind of the stack I had to get in there.
Yeah, I have the Christian McCaffrey stack with Brock Purdy. I think he could get some receiving touchdowns. That would be great.
That'd be so great. Yeah.
I got for my receivers, I have Noah Brown, 3,700.
Jahan
Dotson at 5,000, and I got JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba at 4,100.
Yeah, I like those plays. We were talking about that last night. If those receivers boom for you this week, you're going to hit. I think that the most likely outcome is probably that those guys are sitting around like 5 points. But if they hit in great matchups, you're going to have a solid week in DFS.
I feel like all three. I kind of went pretty decent floor. That's why I want those 3 guys. I think JSN could give me 6 or 7, and then Jahan Dotson probably 6 or 7, and then Noah Brown is probably like 0 at the worst. But
I got Noah Brown in my lineup.
All 3 of those guys could be 15-point guys, though.
I think so too. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I went with Noah Brown with you because I think that's a great play for 3,700. He balled out last week, so we know he can ball out, and he's going to get more volume this week than he did last week.
Yeah, because Nico Collins is out too.
There, I got DeAndre Hopkins for 6,000. I think with Burks
I like that a lot
against a terrible secondary of. It's a volume play on a good matchup, and Will Levis has showed he can bomb it. And I also got Drake London with Taylor Heineke against Arizona. I think this is one I'm a little more nervous on, but I think, I called for it last week when Drake London was hurt. I was like, once Drake London gets in this lineup and has a good matchup with the gunslinging mentality, he's so built for that. He's very physical. He can go get the ball. And I think that's what you're going to see this week against a terrible, terrible defense in Arizona. Right. We were kind of shocked that the under-over was so high, and I think it's because how bad the Arizona defense is.
That makes sense. Who do you have at tight end?
I got Sam Laporta against the Chargers. I also have
Sam Laporta against the Chargers. I think it's going to be good. I do have Jared Goff in some lineups, but I have him paired with Amon-Ra and some other ones, but I think this is my best lineup.
I
already know who you have at defense. You got the Cowboys.
How could you not?
It's so good.
It's so good. It seems like the most likely outcome for the highest points at that position.
Yeah, I was talking to my buddy Drew. Shout out to Drew, and we were talking about our lineups, and he sent me some of his lineups, and both of them, or all of them that he sent me, had the Cowboys defense. So it made me feel even better about it. I was like, it's a money play.
Same here. Yeah, same here. Anything you want to go over before we end this, man? I think we got some good games going on today. I wish you the best of luck in fantasy. It's going to be fun. See what happens. A lot of drama in some of these games.
Yeah, there is. I do want to kind of talk about survival again. I mean, we've been okay. There's two matchups I do want to talk about. I want to talk about taking. At this point, I wouldn't have taken the Bengals because I didn't like how the Bengals were looking, and they had some tough
We
matchups.
talked about that, yeah.
I thought the Bengals is a good matchup for a team that you haven't taken yet. I mean, they're against the Texans. They're -5.5. I would take the Bengals,
I like that.
Or I would look at taking the Steelers. I don't think anybody's taking the Steelers at this point. -3
it's risky.
at home. It's a little risky, yeah. But like I said, we went very safe early on, and we try to start steering towards more risk. So the Bengals is a safe play, but then I got the Steelers, and I've got the Raiders as my other risky play.
I do like that game. I think both of those games are going to be 50-50. I like Pittsburgh more than I like the Raiders, but I think I do like you said earlier. I do like the Raiders playing with heart
Against a bad team,
and they might win this game. But I think that
that's the most risky team. That's a very risky one for sure. But you got to take risk and survival. It's not easy. So, but yeah, I would prefer to go to the Bengals if I have them. I would prefer to go to the Bengals if I have them. But I mean, the Steelers is not a bad play at all if you've already picked the Bengals.
Yeah, dude, it's been fun.
Dude, it always is, man. It's been
fun.
Yeah,
always great to get on here and go over these matchups.
For sure.
We'll see what happens. Good luck to everybody out there listening. Thank you for joining in. We appreciate you. Also, check out our Brew Collar podcast.
Yeah, it should be coming out around 3:00 is normally when it comes out. It might be a little later today. I'm a little busy today. Hopefully, I can get that exported as soon as I can get the chance. But might be tonight whenever that comes out. We had a guest, Jeremiah Hutchins. And it'd be fun, man. It'd be really fun.
Yeah, really interesting guy. Brings a new perspective that I think a lot of people, can relate to, or can even gets your mind moving.
Yeah, for
really
sure.
Enjoyed the conversation with you guys yesterday. It's been fun, dude.
Dude, heck yeah, man.
Fun. And
don't forget 10:30 every Sunday, man. We're here. I was here on my wedding day last week. I was still here.
Yeah.
And so it's been fun, man. And enjoy your day. Good luck when your DFS lineups. Good luck in fantasy. And I'll see you.
We'll see you next week.